Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Snack127 and welcome back to another Skyforge PlayStation 4 video. And in today's video we're going to be going over my beginner's guide for Beserker. Be freaking Berserker. Probably my favorite class in the whole game. Uses a what's called a chainsaw sword or a saw sword or something of that nature. But it's basically like your two-hand great sword DPS kind of deal. Now what I'm going to be doing today in today's video is just basically talking to you guys about the basics of this class, how to use it, how to pretty much be a skilled and talented berserker. And we're going to start doing that by just looking at his basic abilities and everything. So as you guys know, Berserker has two stances, his basic stance and gladiator stance. Gladiator stance is basically his ultimate attack, which I'll be going over later on. Using gladiator stance is real simple. As you guys can see here, all the moves used by gladiator stance are pretty much the same thing, except carnage, which is also usable on his basic stance. So through here you have all your combo attacks. You have violent strike, fast attack, merciless strike, dissection, crushing throw, fracture, destructive strike, which is just an AoE attack, and destructive wave, which is basically the stronger version of destructive strike. Now the thing about Berserker is you want to always keep building up your rage. Your rage on Berserker is basically what enables you to use a lot of your special abilities. Like for one, the whirlwind move. This when you guys see the berserkers spinning around like this all the time, that's going to cost you rage every time you use it. And honestly, using that a decent amount in big mobs is a really crucial thing. So I'm going to basically teach you guys a simple opener here. We're going to start simple, and and stuff like that. So what you always want to open up with is, and remember, is you don't need to run towards your enemies just because you're a melee based class. You don't need to do that. The Berserker can actually leap headfirst into the enemies if you just smash R2. Hit R2, and then you always want to do your first thing, L2, and push square. And the reason for that, and we're going to go right into abilities and talk about it. Thirst for battle. Increases your damage dealt by 40% and critical chance by 35% for 10 seconds. And not to mention, this ability only has a 25-second cooldown. So here's my tip for any berserker. If you're a berserker and you're not glowing red for 10 seconds every roughly 30 seconds, you're not doing your job properly. And I don't mean to sound like an elitist or anything or stuff like that, but if you have a massive damage buff like that and you're not spamming it as much as you can, you're not doing the right thing. Another thing that I also want to teach people is because of the effects that you get with Thirst for Battle. Thirst for Battle and Gladiator should always be activated together. I'm going to show you guys a gladiator stance, which is Berserker's ultimate attack. I'm going to teach you guys a bit about it also as well. The gladiator unlocks an attack that inflicts 15.9 thousand damage to the opponent. Weaker targets receive more damage. They are too far away. The character makes a leap for an attack, and basically just boosts your attack power for a good amount of time. So anytime you use this, I'll show you guys a gladiator stance. Buff up, then turn on gladiator, and then just slice through your enemies like butter. And as you guys can see, if they're even a bit too far away, this dude just leaps on them. And not to mention, it does AoE damage. And then of course you have your finisher. I might be too strong in here to to get a decent finisher on these enemies, but you guys get the picture. Whenever you see the L2 opportunity for carnage, use it. It's basically just fatal damage. It'll end your opponent a lot quicker, so you can move on to the next enemy, next mob, and and all that good stuff. So basically what you want to do is, right, there's a decent amount of combo attacks you can build up and stuff in here. I mean, find a decent rotation between all these things that that works for you. But mainly when it comes to burst damage, you always want to be putting together combos that are, just constantly building up your rage. So that way, anytime you want to, you can bust out, special abilities. You can use the AoE attacks. You can, uh, spam this for, heavy mobs. Always use your finishers and stuff like that. It's all just about building up your rage. So let's say you guys, want a good combo to, to use for that. Um, I would say honestly, hit R2, go with violent strike, uh, merciless attack, and then maybe crushing throw. But so before you do that, you want to buff yourself up, leap on into battle, square, 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 triangle. And as you guys can see, until I used that attack, my rage bar was fully at 100%. So if you're worried about your rage being down some, just go back to the basic combo attacks. Whether you want to use merciless strike or whatever. And as you guys can see, as I attack, my rage is slowly building up. Maintaining your rage with this class really, really, really isn't hard. One thing you do want to keep in mind is you want to keep your dodging with this class on point. And the reason for that is because, as you guys know, it doesn't have a shield. Me personally, now I know, a lot of people are going to say you want to squeeze out as much DPS as possible. I get that. But me personally, as a precaution, because I'm a newer player and, I'm still learning the game, I get artifacts that, that help my defense, HP, or give me a shield when my HP is low. Like right now, I'm using the Defender's Curious. I had one before this that would give me a shield for 10 seconds every time my HP would drop below 45% or something like that. Me personally, I use those kind of artifacts, until I get comfortable and I can just go on that all offensive side. But one thing you can also do to to keep enemies off you, and this doesn't work with very many bosses, so don't get too comfortable with it. Thundering Roar. It basically puts fear in your enemies for 6 seconds, meaning they just sit there, don't move. It's basically like using the freeze attack on the Cryomancer. If you're in a mob that you're unsure about, what you want to do is then you want to go ahead and leap into there, use Thundering Roar, freeze them so you can see what you're dealing with, buff yourself up, then start just attacking or whatever combo it is you please to use. But as of the combo attacks and a good rotation, just make sure you're always just leaping in there to start. And another thing you can also do, leaping when leaping in there, crippling blow. You can follow up with this if you want to after the thundering roar. So let's say you got an enemy that's just really pummeling you. Well, hit him with that thundering roar, give him a nice few combo attacks, and then smack him with a crippling blow. That way he's stunned, and this guy he's still under the roar effect, so he can't do nothing. He's just done. But other than that, guys, the thing with Beserker is always just, building up your rage, staying quick on your toes, and being on, the offensive. If you're new at Beserker, like I said, just grab an artifact that bases, yourself more on defense. So that way, you have a little bit of a backup, in case, you're not seasoned with, dodging a lot of AoEs and stuff like that. Especially, if you're in a hardcore raid group. Like, me personally, when I'm running my raid team and stuff like that, I don't get all crazy on my guys. If somebody, wants to use a defensive piece because, they're still learning their class, that's okay with me. I allow other players to, to do that. But if you want a good tip to get defensive artifacts easily, run instances in dungeons with a paladin or a knight. They drop like hotcakes. I mean, it's always not going to be the highest quality ones dropping, but you'll have a defensive piece that will give you some more HP, or give you a little bit of ease of mind, when you're going into hardcore stuff. But anyway, guys, this is going to wrap it up for my beginner's guide on Beserker. If this guide helped you, be sure to smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tanek127. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.